Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Muhammad Al-Faikal bin Sarudin.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Luqman Nur Hakim bin Nazri.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Aiman bin Mustami Elias Suhaimi.
Assalamualaikum, my name Muhammad Adi Syahmi bin Muhammad Yuri.
Lift the car using jack and put axle under the car. Next, use impact wrench to loose the wheel nut and place the tire under the car. It is for the safety purpose. Disconnect the hydraulic cable and flush all the brake fluid. After that, to dismantle the caliper, we need to open the guide pin by using the impact wrench. Remove mounting bracket by loosening the lock bolt. Then remove the rotor. And next, to dismantle the piston, remove screw on the connection hole and use air gun and direct the air gun to the hole. Cover it with a cloth for the safety purpose and wait for the piston to come out. Next step is inspection of the thickness of the brake rotor. Divide the rotor into the 6 sections and take the measurement using the vernier caliper. Repeat same step for the other section. Next step is rub the chalk on the rotor surface and rub the brake pad on the rotor, and then we'll observe the brake pad. Lastly, run out measurement. Set the dial gauge to 0. It is to check the misalignment and ensure proper installation of the rotor. We do the test to make sure the lock pin is in good condition. This is the every part that have in the brake caliper. Now we go for the assembly process. First, install the piston boot and boot ring on the piston, and then insert the piston into the cylinder body. Put the pad clip into mounting bracket and put the mounting bracket into the cylinder body using lock pin guide, and insert the shim and pad into mounting bracket. After that, place the rotor. Use a lock bolt to install the caliper on the rotor. Assemble brake fluid cable and tighten all the screws using a socket wrench. Last step is install the tire and complete the assembly process.
So for the table 1, this brake part name. The first one is caliper guide pin, second is caliper guide lock pin, pin bushing, mounting bracket, pin boot, boot ring, piston boot, piston seal, caliper body, friction material, brake pad, shim and pad clip. Table 2, condition of these brake parts. First, wear indicator. It is in good condition. This brake surface not in good condition and rusted. Outboard brake shoe or brake pad condition is good and the thickness is 6.73 mm. Inboard brake shoe condition is good and thickness is 6.62 mm. Piston good condition, and lastly cylinder bowl in good condition. Table 3, inspection of this brake condition. The first is run out measurement. It is in good condition and can be used because it's not exceed 0.05 mm. This thickness measurement, the first is 10.03 mm, 9.97 mm, 10.04 mm, 9.98 mm, 10.01 mm, and lastly 10.02 mm. For the rub test, it is in normal condition and most of surface are rough. And lastly, guide pin and lock pin straightness, it is in good condition.
Okay, next we go to the discussion. Based on your finding, what is the condition of the brake pad? Should it be replaced? Condition of brake pad is good. The thickness of inboard brake pad is 6.73, while outboard is 6.62 mm. It still can be used for long drive. The brake pad can generate heat caused by friction effectively. Minimum thickness for brake pad around 3 mm. It will increase ability to stop car instantly. Okay, next, list 2 causes of rotor thickness variation. What is the correct repair procedure of thickness variation? Number 1, uneven brake pad deposit. When the brake pad leave inconsistent deposit of friction material on the rotor surface, it creates hot spot and result in uneven thickness over time. Number 2, rotor warping due to excessive heat. Repeated hard braking or riding the brake generate excessive heat, which can cause the rotor to warp and wear unevenly, leading to thickness variation. Thank you.
Discussion. What do you understand about run-out measurement data? Answer. Run-out measurement data refer to the amount of literal or axial definition of a rotation component, such as a brake rotor front is through center during rotation. This is measured using a die indicator and expressed in thousands of an inch of millimeter. Excessive run-out can lead to the issue such as brake pedal pulsation, uneven brake pad wear, and vibration during braking. Common sources include warped rotor, improperly mounted rotor, or difference between the rotor and hub. By comparing run-out data to manufacturer specification, technician can determine whether resurfacing, cleaning, or replacing the component is necessary to ensure proper brake performance. What is your feeling for the guide pin or lock pin straightness check? What can happen to your disc brake system if the guide pin or lock pin is not straight? Answer. If the guide pin or lock pin is found to be bent or not straight during inspection, it indicates a fault that can lead to improper caliper movement. A non-straight guide pin can cause the brake caliper to bind or stick, preventing even application and release of the brake pad. This can result in uneven pad wear, dragging brake, overheating, reducing braking efficiency, and potential damage to the rotor. Therefore, any bend of damaged guide pin should be replaced immediately to ensure smooth and safe operation of the disc brake system. Thank you.
After that, in conclusion, the disc brake inspection, removal and refitting lab provide hands-on experience in evaluating the condition and functionality of key braking components. Through detailed inspection of the brake pad, rotor, guide pin and caliper assembly, we learn how to identify common issues such as uneven rotor thickness, excessive run-out, and worn or misaligned component. The removal and refitting process emphasize the importance of proper cleaning, lubrication, especially of guide pin, and torque application during assembly to ensure safe and efficient brake performance. And overall, the lab reinforce essential diagnostic and maintenance skill necessary for reliable disc brake servicing in real-world automotive application.